All right, friends. Today's story is and you just kind of open. So what we're doing in our stories in general is we're going through no particular order, but the stories that Rabbi told during the Fabrengens over the years. I'm sharing. This is a well-known story. You may know it, but there's some detail that I didn't know. Maybe also you didn't know. And it's connected to the subject which we are grappling with in the previous Maimer, Yinikas HaChitzonim. Klippe can be nourished dafka from the loftiest levels. You have the extreme bit, it's nourished from the lowest level. But our question is, what does it mean that the loftiest level has to go through tzimtzum? So why isn't that the lowest level? What's going on exactly? Okay. Story. It's known that at the time of the Russian war of 1812, Napoleon's invasion of Russia. So the Alter Rebbe said, we all know that he was a machlek between him and his colleagues. Shlomo Kalina, in particular. Alter Rebbe said that if France will win, then there'll be wealth, material wealth, and equality. What was the three things of Napoleon? Yeah, in French. Oh, I hope we all heard that. However, he says the heart of the Yidden to their Father in heaven will be Yisporda, means it falls apart. And if Russia will win, there'll be poverty, material poverty, but their hearts will remain bonded, tied up to their Father in heaven. You know all the stories there, the blowing shofar. Anyway, so now Rebbe heard, here's the story at hand. Rebbe heard that the French army was coming close to Liadi, so they fled. This is the winter. And after some 2 parsois from the city, I heard a different version. The Rebbe said, like the Alter Rebbe asked one of the Russian soldiers who accompanied them that they should come with him in a small, quick, not wagon, but wagon, carriage, harnessed to 2 good horses, 2 armed soldiers, and he took 2 people with him to Chassidim, and he went back quickly to Liadi. When he came to Liadi, the Rebbe Alter Rebbe went quickly to his home and wanted to examine very carefully if anything was left in the house. And indeed, they found in the attic 3 things. You know what the 3 things are? Doesn't explain them here, but a pair of worn-out slippers, a sieve to sift flour, and magela means a rolling pin. It also means looks like in the context a rolling pin together with a sieve. It could also mean that the rollers that roll out when you launder the clothing, when they squeeze out the water. But I think it means here a rolling pin. Alter Rebbe said, take them and to set the house on fire, and then fled. As the Alter Rebbe was leaving one edge of the city, the first troops arrived. The French troops arrived in the other end. And then Napoleon arrived soon after. Napoleon goes straight to the Alter Rebbe's house. When he sees it in flames, he commands the flames be extinguished. But because of the great fire and the smoke, they couldn't approach the house. So then he made an announcement that anybody that will bring anything from the Alter Rebbe, any vessel, or even a coin that they got from the Alter Rebbe, he will pay for it with rendla, which is golden coins. They searched the whole city and they didn't find. End of story. So the Rebbe is coming to read that the Torah, the Torah has anything you own, the Torah has literally pity for, and we need to not waste. The Baal Shem Tov said, why? Because whatever you have, it's in Tzutei Kedusha, which belongs to your neshama. And therefore, everything you own is not to be simply discarded or dismissed or ignored, but to be part of you and used in Kedusha. If Alter Rebbe didn't want that anything he had should fall into the hands of this Rasha, and he had Mesiras Nefesh, he was risking his life to go back to the approaching enemy. And moreover, commanded the house be set afire. Like as Beis Mitzrayim, Eden left Egypt, Mitzrayim, it says that they emptied it out, Rashi brings like a net without fish, like a silo without grain. It's also connected with learning in the mind. Why was Napoleon so intent on getting something? Because he knew the tremendous kedusha which he now wants to yinika, siphon and use in Klippa. Napoleon was a sorcerer. Napoleon dabbled no more than dabbled. He was immersed in the world of black magic, the chul of tumah, and he wanted to get something that belonged to the tzaddik, the Alter Rebbe, to be able to use for his nefarious purposes. And hence the Alter Rebbe cut him off. This is like we're learning the Maimer, the Orla has to be removed at the end of the Hashpah. In fact, maybe the story will help us in our understanding of the spiritual dynamics. A wonderful day, everybody. A good Shabbos. We'll see you all, Be'ez Hashem, tomorrow.